Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live, here on this Wednesday evening, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Feel free, and I encourage you to give the video a like and a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. And since it is a Wednesday night, it's time for this week's top 10 countdown. Now, I already have an idea for next Wednesday's countdown. Good evening, Kevron. Glad to have you here. If I remember, and don't forget, by next Wednesday, I'm always telling people, if you've got an idea for a top 10 countdown, feel free to let me know. And I've got an idea on what I want to do for next week if I don't forget in the next 7 days. But this week, I want to talk college football. So this week's top 10 countdown is going to be about college football. Hey there, Marcus. I'm doing fantastic, as always, and hope you are as well. I did one of these last year before college football season started, and it's one that you can do every year because the games change every year. But it's the top 10 projected best college football games that we'll see in 2025. Hey there, Austin. Glad to have you here. Now, of course, this is all projections. I heard somebody the other day say that, the whole transfer portal thing and NIL thing, in their opinion, they were saying that the players leaving is more complicated and hard to understand than the money, because the money, yeah, they're overpaid, but at least we know, how much each player, for the most part, at least the big time players, how much they're getting paid. And now with the whole new deal that each program gets $20.5 million, you know how much money each school has. You're watching a WNBA game. Well, whatever game you're watching, Marcus, I hope you enjoy it. He was saying that, with the transfer portal thing, it's confusing because it's hard to make projections on a certain team because, in February, you might think you know who your team's going to have starting at each, position. But then come April, when the transfer portal opens, you might lose half those players. Well, then all of a sudden, you might feel better or worse depending on, who transfers. And then it might change again, come the middle of September, because if you recall last year, I think his name was Matthew Sluka. Don't quote me on that, but it was Matthew something. He was the quarterback for UNLV. He played 4 games last year, and they said, you know what? They promised me more than I'm making. They lied, so I'm leaving. He didn't play the rest of the season. So you might think one thing come August, and then if you have more and more players doing what Matthew Sluka did and quitting in the middle of the season, you're going to feel totally different come October. So to some people, the money is ridiculous. To some people, it's the transfer portal because it's hard to keep up with who's playing where, who's going where, who's leaving where. But last year, I think there was a Saturday, I want to say it was the second Saturday in October, I believe, where we had like 4 or 5 of that year's must-watch games were all on the same day. This year, we have 3 inside the top 10 that are all on the same day. Number 10, coming up on August 30th, already been announced to be the prime time game. That Saturday, August 30th, that's the Tigers and the pretend Tigers, LSU at Clemson. Now, of course, before I go any further, if you don't know every one of these games, there's some of these games on here that'll be played at a neutral site, but you still have to designate one of the teams to be the home team. So even if some of these games are played at neutral sites, somebody has to be the home team. Number 9, September 13th, Georgia at Tennessee. Number 8, last Saturday of the regular season, November 29th, Ohio State at Michigan. Number 7, September 27th, Oregon at Penn State. Number 6, September 27th, Alabama at Georgia. Again, 10 through 6, LSU at Clemson. Georgia at Tennessee. Ohio State at Michigan. Oregon at Penn State. And Alabama at Georgia. Number 5, November the 1st, Penn State at Ohio State. August 30th, Notre Dame at Miami. November 15th, Texas at Georgia. November the 8th, LSU at Alabama. And number 1, August 30th, Texas at Ohio State. And this list comes to us from Brad Crawford of 24/7 Sports. So we had 3 games on August 30th, LSU at Clemson, Notre Dame at Miami, and Texas at Ohio State. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that sometime probably early May, I'm guessing, I went ahead and did a video talking about all the big games coming up on August 30th. Of course, I'll talk about it again probably the week of, but I did go ahead and do a video about that, and I talked about how we had all 3 of those games in one day, and I did it the week after they had announced what times those games were starting, because everybody knew that we had those 3 games in one day, but everybody was panicking, thinking, oh no, we're going to have probably 2 of those games played at the same time, but we're not. LSU at Clemson, I remember, is the primetime game. I want to say Notre Dame at Miami is the noon game, and Texas at Ohio State is the 3:30 game, but I might be backwards. It might be Texas at Ohio State at noon, and then Notre Dame at Miami at 3:30, but they spread them out where one's at noon, one's at 3:30, and then one's at 7:30. So if you want to watch all 3 games, you don't have to worry about them being on at the same time. Obviously, those 3 games are going to be the biggest 3 games of the opening Saturday. And I say Saturday because if you recall, when college football starts that first weekend, it starts on Thursday. And since that Monday is Labor Day and the NFL starts the following weekend, we'll have college football on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Today, I'm meeting with some old friends who used to beat me in running races at track meets. I look forward to catching up. Hey there, Jada. Glad to have you here on this Wednesday night. That does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.